this is going to be my first video on this channel. It's going to be a what if where it's a combination between Boku no Hero Academia and Magi, Magi the Labyrinth of Magic. So it's going to go the same as not the same as normal, where basically Izuku is told, "Oh, you're quirkless," and then he's distraught. And everything's the same up until the point where he protects the child who's getting bullied from Bakugo and Bakugo's pawns. I wouldn't call them friends. But yeah. So yeah. And then during this moment, where Bakugo's telling Deku that he's worthless and stuff, and that he's quirkless, so he's never going to do anything in life, and he can never become anything good, that sort of stuff, the normal things kids talk about at that age. Totally. Anyway, so after this event occurs, during this event occurring, just before they attack Deku, a labyrinth basically sprouts out of the ground, just randomly appears. It's going to be similar to the one that Sinbad, the guy behind the blue-haired boy in the picture, it's going to be similar to the one that Sinbad conquered. So yeah, it's just going to be like a tower, like a pillar. So yeah. Just to let you know, there are going to be no more labyrinths in this what if. So yeah, this is going to be the only labyrinth. So Deku's going to be literally the only dungeon user, and yeah, I think I might give one for all to Deku, but that depends on how I feel. Because djinn equip is OP. So I don't think he would even need all for one. I mean, I could keep calling it all for one for all. So yeah, Deku then, so he, after seeing this rise, Bakugo and his pawns are like, oh no, I'm scared. They just start to walk away. They're worried. They're like, oh my god, what is this? Are we gonna die? Is this a villain attack? That's their opinion. But Midoriya has this weird sense of almost calling towards it. And he starts to walk towards it. The rest of them are like, no, don't do it. I know I said you're worthless, but don't go to your own death. Damn. So yeah. But Deku can't even hear this. It's and then he sees a bunch of fluttering, but right. The bird things that are in the picture, the yellow light bird things, he sees a bunch of them kind of fly past him and kind of almost pushing him forwards. And he continues walking. He just can't hear anything because his hearing is gone because of all the magic power entering him. He walks into the dungeon. Then he wakes up in this, I guess I would call it icky liquid, and so it's going to be a similar start to the original Magi manga and anime. But what's going to happen is Deku's going to feel it, and any child at that age, he'd be like, oh my god, this feels terrible, or at least that's how I would have reacted. And he would basically just start he would just run out of it and take his and then he would see right behind him, everything just kind of burn, just suddenly everything set aflame. He then takes off his clothes and is like, oh, I can't wear these anymore. So yeah, let's just say that he took his backpack with him. So let's say he had a backpack with him and he took it in with him. So yeah, just for plot convenience. And he basically takes off his clothes and he's like, I can't even wear these again because they're so disgusting and they're flammable. So yeah, big scare. If I come out and Bakugo sees me with this stuff on, he's gonna probably set me on fire. That's basically what Izuku's thinking. I'm gonna be switching between Izuku, Midoriya, and Deku as his names. Although I'm gonna try and stick with Deku. Although, yeah, he's probably still going to be called it. But that's not going to be his hero name. So he so he's taking off his clothes. He just throws into the fire because he's not going to wear them, so might as well. And he looks through his bag and he finds some I don't know. Let's say he had a pea bag or something in there, and he kind of just for the warmth or something. Let's say it's made out of fabric because why not? And he kind of rips it apart a bit and puts it on as a little jacket, the one that Aladdin is wearing in the picture. And he continues walking forwards. And yeah, he exits that area, and I'm going to change up. So from here on, it's going to be a bit different to the original story. And basically, he walks towards and he sees this giant, really vast area. It's if any of you have played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's kind of like when you first wake up from the recuperation area and you just walk outside and you see that whole area. It's kind of like that, from his perspective. Actually really similar as well. However, there are a lot of stone pillars and stuff, and yeah. He sees a few ruins and he sees some creatures crawling around it. He decides not to go over there because they are massive. Because even from there they're quite large, they're decently sized. They're about the same size as, I don't know, an oven. Sorry, I'm not the best at metaphors or anything like that. But I will of course use them. So yeah, he goes forwards and then one of those creatures that he had just seen, but slightly smaller, start crawling up to him and almost charging into him. Yeah, they're weird bugs, maybe centipedes or something. You can gain your own opinion on the bugs. I'm just gonna call them bugs. Bug monsters. So yeah, Deku then sees this and he gets scared. And then he he trips over himself trying to walk away. He's, that thing where you walk backwards and then you trip over, in every show ever before they awaken their ultimate power. But that's not going to happen here. Instead, he picks up let's say there's a jagged rock on the floor. He picks it up, scuffling around, and then he just slams it into the bug's shell. Causing it to break open, but because Deku does not understand how biology works yet, he will continuously smash it over and over and over again until it's basically a pile of mess, messy goop, kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. He then looks around and two more are coming over to him, and then a thought hits his head, just before he notices that they're there, a thought hits his head. Oh shit, oh no, I don't have any food. How am I going to survive here? If all the monsters are as if there are tons of these bugs, aren't they all going to aren't they all going to hurt me? Let's say that he doesn't really know fully how, killing works. I don't know, I just feel like a child his age wouldn't be are they all going to kill me? No, I feel like he'd be more aren't they all going to hurt me? And yeah, he gets a bit teary over this, but then he realizes that the bugs themselves could technically be food, although he hates the idea, but he needs food and he's going to get hungry eventually. And then of course 2 more come along, and he's ugh, not again. And then he clenches his fist. With the rock still in it, and he just runs over to them and kind of starts, stabbing them, smashing them with his with the rock. So yeah, let's say that this sort of thing continues on for the next 2 years. He scouts the area. Eventually he finds this really large, this one area where there's a really large bug monster, but then there's also a door which has a slot in it, but he doesn't know what for yet. Instead of how it is in the original, it's not 2 slots because, yeah, that would be a pain. Instead, it's just going to be a single slot. So he walks. During this 2 years time skip, he's scoured the area. He's done tons of recon. He's also like looked through. Let's say he continued studying. During any free time he got from between running, eating, sleeping, killing, between those things. Let's say any free time he got, he would study just in case he ever got back home. And just so you know, he did check if there was a way out, but as you should know, there is no way out of the labyrinth. Oh, this labyrinth. He then would and during he would also be like training and stuff, like not that much, but due to the amount of running and like the amount of work he would have to do, like, and eventually firstly he would get really good at cooking or just lose all his taste. Either one. I think I prefer the cooking idea because I feel like that could be handy later on for, I don't know, plot. Anyway, he would be about as strong physically after the 10 month, because if you think about it, he was a lot older then, and also he was very strong, decently strong, and plus, since he was older, he would be strong, and then because of all the training he did, he'd be stronger during that 10-month thing. However, here, of course, he's still going to be powerful, but it's like he's 7, so at this point he would be 7. I am very rambling, but you might get a bit lost. But yeah, he will basically be on par with his 14-year-old self after a 10-month like full-on training. I think that's a bit ridiculous, but hey, it's a what if. He would go. He would. Sorry, I'm getting a bit off track. I don't have a script, so this is kind of difficult for me to do sometimes. But I thought of a good idea, and I just thought might as well. He's going to end up like being like really pretty buff, like just think of a 7-year-old who has muscles, I guess. There's also going to be something that happens to his hair is going to go like a tint lighter. So instead of being the normal dark green hair, like the light, like the medium light dark green, like just the green hair he has, instead of being that, it will be a bit lighter, like to the point where basically it's like a pale green, This is due to the fact that it's a scientific process. It's a biological thing where if you're under a lot of stress, your hair goes white. And let's just say he went under a lot of stress, causing his hair to just get lighter. However, it won't go white, just because anime characters got to have their colour. Fun. He would, and also during this 2-year time skip, I am very sorry for rambling on, but who cares? Except for you guys, but I doubt many people are going to watch this. Also during this time, he's going to collect a few weapons, gear, and a porter's backsack. If you know what a porter is, if you don't know what a porter is, it's basically the guys who carry the armor, material, food for knights and stuff. They often are apprentice knights and stuff, Deku's gonna find one of these rucksacks, and by the way, the only reason he's finding these is because let's say that this single labyrinth has never been conquered, however has appeared over many years and would just disappear suddenly every, let's say 10 years after it appeared, and reappear later on, like 100 to several hundred years later, maybe thousands of years later, and that's basically what this labyrinth will be like. It would just be like, hi, 10 years later it'd be like, bye. Anybody who went in would die. You might be surprised that a 7-year-old survived this, but I repeat, it is a manga. Well, not a manga. It is a fake scenario, and it's just a what if. I mean, you can make your own presumptions, but let's just say that all the bugs and all the things that he's been fighting so far are newly born. So yeah, let's say that's why they're weak. I don't know. So yeah, he would find, as I said, he would find a porter's backpack where he would just carry stuff in, food, etc. He would also find a short katana, like a short sword katana. I only chose this because I thought it'd be cool, because I like katanas. So yeah. I'm very much struggling. So yeah, this will be his main weapon, and might I add, this is where his this is his djinn metal vessel. So this is where his djinn is gonna go. Honestly, it sounds like I'm talking about alcohol. But yeah. He would. So yeah, he would also wear light armor and just also wearing a helmet, but you can pretend he's not, because although helmets are useful, I mean, people don't usually like seeing people wearing them, so yeah. Deku will... so let's go back into the story. I know I've gone very much off track. Let me see how much time I've been doing this for. It doesn't show. Damn it. So yeah, he will... so after this 2 years time skip, he'll believe like himself to be ready, because he's seen like what the boss monster, you could say, which is going to be like a moth or butterfly looking thing, which will have like a bunch of spikes all over it and will have massive pincers. Massive. But yeah, he'll see like this thing's routine and like what it does throughout its life, and he will think, yeah, I'm ready to face it. You know what? Like, I can take on like 150 of these bugs on by myself. I can take it. But yeah, he then goes near it, goes decently far away, but like maybe 50 meters away. 20. Let's just say 25 meters away, because I'm not going to get physical. Like, I'm not going to do physics and just calculate how much strength you'd have to do what I'm going to say next. But yeah, he then throws a spear or spear in like a javelin like fashion through both of the wings of this moth or this bug boss monster. You know. This will cause it to be startled, and it will try to fly up, but of course it just had a spear go through its wings, so it will struggle. It will still do it, because why not? But it will struggle. It will start like flying upwards, like really slowly towards Deku, and as Deku sees this, he will basically, let's say he's on top of a large cliff or something, he'll just jump down, he will slide down it, and then once he's close enough to get on it, he'll jump onto the I'm just going to call it the boss monster. He'll jump onto it, and he will onto it and grab onto its antennae. I think those are the little whisk things on its head, on butterflies' heads. He will then and of course, because this bug realizes it's got a creature on its head, it tries to use its pincers to bite Deku. However, he will pull himself up just in time, because I don't know. Let's say that the pincers are small enough to have been able to hurt him, but small enough to be able to reach him, but large enough to look dominating. But yeah. I'm struggling. Deku will then start take out his katana and start basically plummeting it into the creature's like, I don't know, back of the neck, and like over and over again, almost drilling into it, like digging into it. However, then he will see multiple of the bugs he had previously seen, but they appeared to have wings, and they were like flying over to him. He would notice, and he'd be confused because like the rest of them didn't. But then he noticed that they were newly hatched, and apparently this were a mutation that allowed them to fly. He hadn't seen these previously, or the eggs themselves, because the bug had been protecting them. Deku will then have to use knives and stuff that he has in like pockets and stuff, you know, to throw them at these bugs, causing them to fall to their death. And once they were like, most of them were dead, he began like digging again. And once he reached a point where he was almost at like the part of the bug's body where it would like kill it, the bug starts properly shaking him off. And due to that fact, he almost falls off. However, then he decides to like properly stab it in the neck, and then like kind of drops down. Have you seen that thing like where people are climbing and then like something breaks and then they get out a knife or something and then like they start like falling down, but the knife drags down as well? He does that and he basically rips the body open. So yeah, would you like a half and half of large butterfly monster? But yeah, he butterfly cut a butterfly. I paused a second so that you could laugh cringily, you know. But yeah, he would then go over to the door, just to see if maybe something happened. Was this thing connected to the door or something? Nothing happened, by the way. He would then he would then go back over to the moth and like, knowing that this is like the strongest thing there. He basically starts looking over it, and then he noticed that one of its eyes looked like a gem, like a really large, like red, like bright red gem. He's like, ooh, that might fit, and he kind of like starts like, I don't know, cutting around it and like ripping it out. He then carries it over to the door, and let's say that this is like around half his size. He carries it over to the door. It's pretty heavy, and he slams it inside of the thing. The door then begins to open, because why not? Because I'm not going to make it so that you have to put your hand on the door, because I can't be bothered. So yeah, he'll put it on the door. Let's say it's where the slit is between the door, that's where he has to put it, and the door begins to open. Then I've actually drawn this, but I don't on my computer, but I don't have any way to show it at the moment. But yeah, then he'll see a blue djinn with like this weird, slightly flashing, almost like flashing between white and black. A blue. So it's got the torso and arms of like a human, the head of a panther, smoking a pipe, by the way, because I thought, why not? And where its neck is, it has like a really furry thing, which is flashing between white and black in some areas. And also he would have like that misty sort of thing instead of legs, where it basically be also flashing between white and black. So yeah, it would be this panther-headed being, djinn, would be smoking a pipe, and it would like take up the pipe, and it would be like, "Hello, young boy. I am the djinn, known as Kage." Kage meaning shadow in Japanese. I thought it might be fun. So yeah, you can get a description of this guy's abilities pretty quickly. But yeah, so Deku then asks Kage, like he says, Kage, do you know, how do I get out of here? I've been like in here for years now. Like I've been in here for 2 years now. How do I get out? He would know the time because he'd probably, like, let's say he has a watch on him, and he's been keeping track back through that. And Kage would be like, you do not know the true amount of time we've been here. Let's say that instead of 2 years, it would actually have been 3 years, because although Deku knows that it's been 2 years on his, like, watch, on the outside world, it had been 1 more year. So yeah, Kage would be like, yeah, it's been 3 years, kid. But then he'd be like, but I will be letting you out. And he'd be like, and Deku would be like, wait, you're the one who's been keeping me here? Who has been keeping me here? Kage? And Kage would then say, yes, however, the reason being, because I wanted to choose a suitable warrior to inherit my abilities. Now, I don't know what exactly they originally said, but this is my own idea, so screw what it was supposed to be. But yeah, Kage would say this, putting his pipe back in and just like huffing out a bit of smoke, and he'd be like, I will also grant you an ability if you can pass one test. Otherwise, you are stuck in here forever. Deku would be like, whoa, Kage, you're the one who trapped me in here. Why are you doing this to me? Kage would then say, child, I've been in here for longer than you can imagine. Of course I'd want to have some fun. Deku would be like, Really, Kage? I do not know how long this has been going on for. But then Deku would say, okay, fine, give me your test. And then in the actual series, it would then, let's say if this was an anime, basically what would happen here is we wouldn't see the test, it would skip forward, and then it would be like, and we would see Deku, like, I don't know, suddenly appear with like a bunch of jewels and stuff, and an invisible djinn, so Kage, like hovering around his katana. Of course, the seal would appear as well. And then the authorities would be like, what are you doing? What are you doing with all those valuables in the spot where this strange tower had appeared? Let's say that no hole appeared because, whatever. I just can't be able to change the landscape of an area. And then he would say, hello, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I just escaped that dungeon. I just escaped that labyrinth. So yeah. Now, then we have a flashback to what actually happened, and basically Kage says, he would just say, you must. I'm just trying to make up a test on the spot here. I am, not Kage. Then Kage would basically say that you must catch me. Deku would be like, really? That easy? Okay. Kage would then transform into a blue kitten, and would start like dashing all over the place, and he'd be like, 3, 2, 1, like, you just say 3, 2, 1, start. Then Deku would instantly, on this remark, would basically almost fly over to Kage. Kage would be a bit surprised, but he would say, no less would I expect from my inheritor. And then he just kind of like dodged out the way. He's like, yeah, no, you're not catching me now. He would then like start, and this would go on for about 30 minutes until eventually Kage would be like, you're so slow. You're so slow. How are you able to beat that being? And this would really annoy Deku, and Deku would just all of a sudden have a bounce of like adrenaline, causing him to, without being wary of any body stuff, he would basically just like run really quick, more quickly than he's ever done before, really surprising Kage at this point, because like, oh my god, can you just have some speed boost? And he would like just almost pounce at Kage and would catch him. Now Kage would then be like, well done, child. I mean, this wasn't like I feel like the test should have been harder based on the amount of power I'm about to give you. However, a deal is a deal, and I am a man cat of my word. Then Deku would be like, wait, so what is the power that you have, Kage? And Kage would be like, I can manipulate darkness, which includes shadows and such, as well as, and we wouldn't hear this part, and you can find out later on. So yeah, then Kage enters Deku's katana, and yeah, bam, that is what if done. Bye. I'm out. So see ya. Bye bye. I probably should.